thought I would just I thought I would just record a little something to let other people know what it's like to live a day in a life with as someone who has a chronic illness. I live every day with overactive thyroid, which is a disorder called Graves' disease. Basically, my thyroid, which you see how big my neck is right here. See that? This is the beginning of a goiter. This is my thyroid. My thyroid is larger than it needs to be. When I was initially diagnosed last year, what happened is a normal thyroid will put out a certain percentage of this type of hormone or chemical. And when they did my scan, it was almost double that. So I did a round of treatments, medication-wise. I did like a barium scan, which is I did a radioactive scan. And I also took this medication for a course of the time to level it out. Right? Level it out. So then I leveled it out so much that my thyroid level actually lowered too low, which is called hypothyroidism, underactive. So they put me on a medication called Synthroid to try to fix that. Now, word to the wise. If you have an underactive thyroid, you gain weight. If you have an overactive thyroid, typically you're a skinny person. Obviously, despite the bulky sweatshirt, I'm not a skinny girl. I'm a big girl. But I have an overactive thyroid, not an underactive thyroid. So kind of a contradiction. I started to notice that my hair was falling out. I had debilitating abdominal pain, and I thought it was my gallbladder. The alopecia, which is when your hair falls out, is an immune system thing. Couldn't explain that. Went to an ER, had an upper GI, had a barium scan, had all this stuff. It's not my gallbladder. So, what could it be? That's when I went and had the thyroid scan, discovered that. Other symptoms include, in case you're wondering and maybe you have these and you're not sure what to do, profusive sweating. I had really severe underarm sweating. TMI, I know. I have to be careful of what colors and how thick a shirt is I wear, which is really hard when you're a girl and you want to look nice. So that was a trigger right there. I should have known it was my thyroid. So I started taking this medicine and I feel a little bit better. Pretty soon, about a patch that big right here of my hair is missing. Brush my hair, clumps of hair fall out. Wash my hair in the shower, clumps of hair fall out. Go like this, clumps of my hair were just falling out. And a huge red bald spot. It was horrible. I was so embarrassed I cried all the time. My knees were popping and cracking, swelling up to the size of softballs. My elbows were swelling up. My shoulders, my hip popped out of joint. This shoulder popped out of joint. All these weird joint things. Okay, mind you, I'm 27 now. When this all started, I was 25. Still too young to be having arthritic problems, arthritis, or even way too young, regardless. So, I'm talking to the endocrinologist, which is a fancy word for a guy who looks at your thyroid or if you have diabetes. I'm talking to him and I'm explaining. He's like, you need to go see your regular doctor. So I go to my regular doctor, who's like, can help you out good if you have the flu or a cold or an injured ankle. And I have weak ankles. I'm describing these things, and I was getting these mouth sores. Now, mind you, I've never diddled anything dirty. So I've never been with any guy who's dirty or has anything. My husband doesn't have anything. And I've always had problems with my nose bleeding, and I've had sores in my nose, plus with the hair, and just a lot of other factors. Chronic fatigue, anxiety, depression, weight gain and loss, which I attributed to my thyroid, but it was not just my thyroid. So I get sent to a specialist called a rheumatologist. That's just a fancy word for anybody who has arthritis, osteoporosis, rheumatoid arthritis, lupus, fibromyalgia, stuff like that, multiple sclerosis. I didn't know what lupus was. I went to this doctor, my grandma, she has fibromyalgia, and she had rotator cuff surgery and all this stuff, and I wasn't really sure what to look for. So I go, and he does a joint test where he goes and he touches and he bends each one of your joints and he feels them. I was puffy. I mean, you can see now, I'm a swollen lady. If you could see my ankles, one of my ankles is regular, one of them is puffed out, one of my knees, etc., etc. So he sets me down in his office, does a blood panel. My liver doesn't look good. My kidneys don't look good. He sits me down, he looks at me, and he's like, I'm sorry I have to tell you this, but I think you have lupus. All I know is I've ever heard that word is on the show House. Never lupus. Never lupus. And lupus is always called the great imitator. So let me tell you this. I thought it was 100 other things. You know, it almost felt like a death sentence to me. So, start to research it. Look at my symptoms. Look at the stress factors in my life. Look at what they now I know to be flares, how often these things occur, my diet, anything like this. Family history, find out it's SLE, which is systemic lupus, I can't even say the last word, it starts with an E. SLE. Most people just call it lupus. The other kind of lupus, the kind that the singer Seal has, the black guy married to Heidi Klum, his is a different kind. Now, the lighting's kind of bad, but you can almost see this like pinkish area here. I get what's called a molar rash, or like a butterfly rash, but mine's not very bad. It's almost like a form of eczema that's on your face. I get it more on my arms and my knees. Scaly alligator lady. Long story short, I go on this medicine called Plaquenil, which you couldn't even go on until you go to an eye doctor because it's an anti-malarial and it can cause vision problems. So I got my glasses, start taking Plaquenil. My hair grew back. Didn't really help so much with the inflammation and stuff. I was still taking about 16 Aleve a day. Now, side note, never ever ever take more than the recommended dosage it says on the bottle or as prescribed by your doctor. I'm not an advocate for overdosing on medication at all. My mother-in-law even called the doctor, or the poison control. She's like, my daughter-in-law is taking like 22 Aleve a day, naproxen sodium, and she is still hurting, but she's not dead. Shouldn't this have killed her by now? And they're like, gonna kill her liver, which it has. But I was taking all this and I was still in pain. I was really anxious. I've bitten my nails down to like nothing. Really anxious, panic attacks. Very depressed. Mood disorders, mood problems. I'm very mean. I don't try to be mean. And I end up hurting the people I love the most. My husband and my son. I'm very cruel. I don't intend to be. I'm very short-fused. And this isn't me. This isn't who I used to be. I mean, I've always had a little OCD in me, and if you've ever met my mom, you'll realize, yes, I can be controlling. Yes, people might call me a bitch. But that's not who I set out to be, and my husband knows the real me before I was sick. He knows the me that, we met when we were 19. And they said I could have possibly started developing this when I was 17 or 18. It just wasn't caught till now. So, here I am. Every day it takes me half an hour to 45 minutes to even get out of my bed. Not to mention at the beginning of the year, I went back to the doctor because I was having some debilitating back pain that I attributed to the lupus. It felt like needles in my legs. Now my arms and legs feel like they're full of lead all the time, real heavy. And I'm a bigger girl, so I'm like, I'm fat, whatever. Well, the restless leg syndrome that I thought I had, I also have fibromyalgia. So I started taking this medicine that was supposed to help depression, anxiety, and the fibromyalgia symptoms. It's called Cymbalta. If that doesn't make you nauseous, I don't know what will. I felt like I was pregnant all over again taking that stuff. Makes you extremely nauseous. So here I am. Takes me about 45 minutes to get up in the morning. That's because my knees are locked up. I can't find a comfortable position to sleep. I have horrible insomnia. But I'm tired all the time. The fatigue hits me really bad. I could be the most energetic person in the world. I work with kids all day. I could be like, oh, into it, let's do this. And then it's like, bam. And I'm like, oh, I need a minute to catch up with me. So, it's ruining my life. But I can't say that. I have lupus. I have fibromyalgia. They don't have me. They don't control my life. They don't run my life. I run my life. Now, if only I could keep up that positive attitude every single day. I already have a negative body image. I hate how I look. I hate how fat I am. I hate what this is doing to my body. But I'm blessed enough to have a family and a Lord and Savior who love me so much. A husband who would do anything for me. An amazing child. But, you know, I'm signed up for a clinical trial for the lupus to see if this new medicine called Benlysta will help me. It's supposed to be an injection. I'm still afraid to try it or not, but I've been being tested. If I would have known this sooner, it might have made my life easier. Those are 4 miscarriages I might not have had if I'd known I had an issue that, you know, kind of gave you trouble getting pregnant. I got lucky with Vinny. I got lucky when I got pregnant with Bubby, but he had a genetic disorder that killed him. So, you know, I have to find the positives. Yes, I'm in the middle of a flare-up right now, so I'm swollen, I'm puffy, I'm irritable, and my hair just started falling out all over again. I don't even know if you can see it there. It started falling out all over again. But I think what I'm trying to do is find a reason to smile every single day. Because if I don't, this depression is going to take over my life. Sitting and thinking about how broke I am. Sitting and thinking about how hard life can be. Sitting and thinking about how much pain it is for me just to walk. And I used to be really active and skinny and pretty and whatever. Now I work with troubled kids and I have a hard time walking across the yard. I have shortness of breath because my thyroid's so enlarged it's starting to affect my breathing. I want to be pretty. I want to be me again. I don't want people to think, poor Casey, she has lupus. Poor Casey, she has fibro. Poor Casey, she's going to have surgery to get her thyroid removed. No, I want people to think, man, it was great to see Casey today. She really is a ray of light. She really is a good role model for Christian women. She's so great with these kids. That's what I want people to think of when they see me. Nobody's probably even ever going to watch this, but at least I did it for myself. And you know those It Gets Better videos? Well, maybe this is one of those for sufferers of chronic pain and have chronic illness and have no immune system like me, or, you know, wake up every single day and know it's going to be another day of pain. And it's just a question of, on that scale of 1 to 10, how much can you handle today? How much are you willing to push through and push to the back of your mind just so you can have a normal day like everybody else? Because people like my husband, like my mom, I think they seriously take for granted the fact that they can just get up every day. And not just normal aging pains. My mom's almost 50. Yeah, she's going to have some aches and pains. I'm 27. I shouldn't have these kind of pains. I shouldn't have the joints of an 80-year-old woman. I want to enjoy my youth. I feel like it's being taken away from me. But, that's that. So, my name's Casey. And today was just another day. Um, I used to have a really good sense of humor. I used to be funny. Well, God bless you all. And I want you all to know I'm here for you. And I feel for you. And even though we're a couple miles, 100 miles, thousands of miles apart, maybe there's something we can all share and we can find somebody to talk to about these things we're going through. Whether it's cancer, lupus, rheumatoid arthritis, multiple sclerosis, depression, Crohn's disease. I don't even care if you're just sad. Maybe you're not actually depressed. Maybe you're just upset. Or even if you're really, really happy about something. I want you to know you can talk to me. I don't care who you are. I mean, I care. But it doesn't matter to me who you are, where you are, when it is. No, I'm here. And I'm listening. Know that somebody out there's listening. Because maybe somebody should have told me that a long time ago. And maybe it would have helped. I've almost given up too many times. And now I'm at the point where I have a beautiful son and I don't want to give up anymore. I want to keep pushing. So, I'm always here. Let me know if you need me. This is Casey. Good night.